recording purposes, we're not live streaming.
Do you want me to put in for another conference room for this room too?
You know what, it won't be an issue, I just figured where it's like your organizational meeting, you'll probably.
Do you want me to, so I could get a different conference room
I don't know,
table?
we might be able to, if we decide that your tables are better
If I
there,
can get them, so,
yeah, then we can always move
but I
it.
could also put in for a different regular, like a round-ish or oval-ish table too. I could try. I can see
We
what
can do
I can.
anything?
I can't promise anything. I have to go online. I gotta log in and do it. Tonight's the last day, I think. No, tomorrow is.
John, you referenced minutes, but I don't see any minutes.
Yeah, well, there says 2:27:25 minutes on there,
I don't see that.
but I don't even see those. It's like, I don't know what I'm not sure where we at reviewing minutes.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
Well, wasn't
I
the
think.
last meeting where we just kind of like reviewed the recommendations for moving forward?
Yeah, but did we record any minutes, at least to say that? And who was there, you know, like minimum, we should have like, at least
Yeah.
what the few bullet topics we talked about, the date and who was there.
Yeah, we don't have that.
Right, so we need to come up with, I don't know when our last approved minutes were, so I think we need that as an action item to figure that out. Where we stand with previous minutes,
Yeah.
just to get them recorded.
But the recommendation thing,
That's
yeah,
there.
that's it.
Right, but,
No,
okay.
I hear you, I'm making.
Right,
trying to catch up.
right, I mean, I don't feel like we're doing anything wrong.
No,
I just wanted to be able to put a document someplace to just, you know, it doesn't have to say a lot. It just has to say, this is what we talked about, who was there, and,
Yeah, very least.
Right,
It's the nature of this committee because there's no real chair.
right, but that's why this is being recorded, but they weren't, I don't know if they all got recorded or not.
Yeah.
And I thought they did.
Might have been, yeah.
I know that we were recording them, but we may have missed one or two.
Okay.
And it's just a matter of getting what those,
I think we just missed the last one.
possibly,
Yeah. That's
those
what,
one paragraphs, but I don't think we like technically approved any of them.
I think we approved everything, but we didn't have minutes from the last meeting. Because I remember having a discussion about, should we meet just to approve these minutes?
I know we approved minutes at one point, but it's been a while. And I think we need a little research just to kind of go back, figure out our last minutes. What we approved and where we're at for not approved minutes and make sure we have those.
How do you do that?
I guess a little research
In the sound?
in the pulling papers out and maybe some of Ellen's support.
I think, yeah, too much.
So,
Probably got emails that were sent out.
So it looks like to me that January 2nd was our last one.
our last meeting,
Yeah, does that sound right?
It says on here, February 27th.
right? Was that the last meeting?
No, because the recommendations for moving forward, that is from me to John, Jean, Skip, Charlotte,
Oh,
Ellen, and Susan.
that references that
And
email.
that's dated March 1st.
Yeah, I thought we,
Right,
right,
okay.
right, so we do it, yeah, there's definitely some
Okay.
disjoined stuff. And it's not a big deal, it just would be, it's just house cleaning.
Okay, so you're gonna ask Ellen to take a look.
Yeah, I can. What is approved and what is outstanding?
So was there a meeting in February 27th?
I assume so.
At this point, I think that's correct.
I would assume that's correct, it's our, so.
I begged off for one because I was in Georgia.
Yeah, you missed, I know you missed something.
Yes, we had a meeting at 4 PM on the 27th.
4 p.m., wow.
That was right before,
I know.
budget committee, right?
Right. know, Donna, you take notes during these, so we may have to like depend on you to help.
I just became the,
No, we're not, not,
Yeah, no, that's fine.
just as a comparison base.
Yeah, that Feb 27 is the last meeting that, I'm looking back at my calendar, and that's the last meeting that I had on my calendar.
Okay, but then we had that other meeting after, or that one was the one that we talked about? Or,
That was the last one.
that was the last one right before the,
Very sorry.
all right,
Yeah, because I don't see another one.
okay, but there was something before that that was missing, so we'll figure it out. I'll do a little archival research in my backpack.
I looked back through and I think it was the January 25th meeting that you were, or February 27th rather meeting that you were missing. So
Yeah, but I think we didn't approve any minutes at that one, so the one before that, at
Okay.
least,
So January 2nd.
was that January, yeah, I hope, so January 2nd, and I'm not sure if, it seemed like it had been a while since we actually approved it.
Okay. And I wasn't at the last meeting and I didn't go
No.
back, so I did find the recording for it,
Yeah.
but for whatever reason, I don't know why there weren't minutes produced for it unless they didn't get to the transcriptionist or what have you. So, I can pull out the ones from January 2nd and we're gonna have to probably produce the ones from February 27th other than
Yeah.
Donna's notes.
Yeah, because I don't think that one was recorded.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that the last one that we did, I'm pretty sure was not recorded.
Okay.
I mean, it's not a huge deal. They should be pretty minimal, just bullet points is all we really need.
It was talking about this.
Yeah. Because I mean, a lot of times it was just like, oh, we reviewed the schedule.
All right, it is 5:30. I'll call the cap.
Yeah.
I was just seeing what was in here for
Yeah.
on the playlist.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I mean, mostly it was like, we looked at the schedule, made some recommendations, whatever. So they should be really simple and straightforward. All right,
So I have January 2nd and February 27th recorded.
okay,
So
that's good.
on the website, I do have January 2nd minutes up there. It's just they're still in draft form. So
Okay.
I'll have to pull those together and I'll get those out in circulation to you.
All right, awesome, thank you. And maybe that's the problem, we were up there and we just didn't pull them down. All right, so we're going to start with the committee definition stuff, I guess. It's a good place to start. All right. Capital Improvement Program with oversight by the BOS. Capital Improvement Program is a critical tool to implement the town's master plan. It is a 6-year schedule of projects required to be constructed or to purchase needed capital facilities and or equipment consistent with the continued growth and development of the town. Streets, bridges, water and sewer systems, community center, schools, and major acquisitions of equipment are all considered capital improvements. For the CIP, a capital improvement project is defined as any expenditure for a project, facility, or equipment having a useful life of at least 3 years and requiring a gross expenditure of at least $10,000, which is what we agreed to, the 3 years and 10,000, right?
No, we moved it to 15. So this is.
15,000?
this is-
Yeah, so that's the old
Okay,
one. That's
the
what's on the
15. Okay, so
website.
we moved it to 15.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, so
I wasn't sure, and again, I hadn't watched the video. I just referred to your, the notes that you had taken. I wasn't sure. I know those were thoughts for moving forward with the plan, but I wasn't sure if they were actually
Yeah,
set in stone from that point
we
moving
did
forward.
agree on them. so-
Okay. So we'll update this on the website.
yeah,
for what
so
we
this
discussed.
is irrelevant.
Right, but we didn't,
Needs to be.
Well,
it needs to be
Yeah.
updated to 15.
Updated.
It's still 3 years though. We went with 3 years, right?
Okay.
right,
I think,
3 years.
but also a 10-year schedule rather than 6.
And yeah, okay.
my recommendation is this goes away and this replaces it.
So that
But
one,
that is just recommendations to this, I believe.
It-
All the rest of the words are good if we updated the
right,
values.
6 years and 10 years.
Yeah, because it talks about the benefits, so we can just add in, a little bit more definition about more clearly what the CIP is going to use for oversight.
You know, if you're back to too is the document that we wrote for the annual report.
Right.
Because that explained the purpose.
That was really good, that document.
Yeah, so that's probably something that we did at the last meeting too, we approved that.
You want a copy? I can send you using that.
This one.
So the CIP changed that to 15 from 10?
Yes.
If we can do that, I believe we can.
Right.
That was gonna be my question.
Yeah.
I don't know any different.
Yeah,
We can set it at what we want.
Right.
Some towns were as small as like,
Yeah, I read that,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
understandable. They tried hiding from you, Sue, but
Sorry. You hit my check.
Maybe.
Sorry, you got the uncut picture. Work in progress.
this is being recorded and
and Bill. Or,
Nope, we're not live.
or not
No,
live.
No, we're
no.
just recording.
We were originally gonna be in the other room, but then I was afraid that where it was your organizational meeting, that it might go longer than the hour, so John and I have to escape, and it was gonna do it before we went to the meeting.
now
So I just set
Now
up the
talk
YouTube
about
recording so we can do the transcript,
the changes.
and we'll post it after the fact.
Including
So
one.
this is,
I couldn't.
I just saw
so
it.
this was what was in there. It still says 10,000 at this point, because this was before we had that meeting when this was created.
But it has so we can use that as update the numbers, right? Because that has good content on why it's important.
Right. So if we want to take that content out.
Yeah, that's true. We did kind of use this as the basis, I think, for what we created there, right? Pretty much.
I mean, I just think my recommendation is, let's go to that. Let's ask Ellen or whoever,
Let's draft
I'll
something.
do it, draft something for the web. You want me to do it, or do you want to do it?
If you wanna do it, you're more than welcome to. I can do it.
I've
my
almost
free
got
time.
plenty to do.
I'll do it.
You're retired now.
What were your concerns with it?
It just needs to be brought up to date mostly. This was a really good
Right.
definition. The summary that Donna wrote last year for the report was really good and very clear.
Yep.
But we did increase it to 15,000 over 10 years
Yep.
because we wanted to have a bigger picture. I'm sorry, from 10 to 15,000. So we left the 3 years of useful life together.
Yeah, big thing was
Total.
the big thing was the look, extended look of 10 years.
Yeah, I know.
We
We
realized,
started that way. When we
Really?
first did this, we started with like 10 years. But, 10 including the year that we were in, so. I think so. But then I think it's too much.
Planning board always did it on 6.
Well, that's what the law says.
Yeah.
The
Minimum.
law, right, the law says minimum of 6 years. Right.
Says,
The law says minimum of 6 years. Yeah. You can go as long as you want.
I think the further out you go, the less reliable it becomes.
Right, but it's just, that's the whole point of the CIP itself, is to just have a little foresight.
well, it was also the key thing was about showing the predictability in things like vehicle
Right,
replacements.
right.
That was,
Stuff that we're talking about replacing every 10 years to kind of get those on the radar.
Yeah.
Instead of pulling it off, leaving it blank for 3 years, and all of a sudden we put a new one on because.
you're following the depreciation cycles more closely, the practices that have
Yeah.
your financials. Because we don't really have equipment like that.
That include police vehicles already?
Well, the police vehicles are, we basically replace one every year. So it would be on there,
Budget line item.
right?
Is that doing enough?
thank you.
No problem. Glad I could be of assistance.
And neither is I.
All right.
I don't think that's a case, but
this document here, Ellen, that you put for us. Just,
The capital improvement plan, chapter 10, that one.
yeah,
So this comes from the basic laws of budgeting workbook that the budget committee gets. I just thought it was a really good overview, especially for new members coming on, like what the purpose is behind the CIP and what your authority is.
I appreciate it.
okay,
Thank you.
so, and maybe there's something out of here too, Donna, that we want to pull into,
Sure.
I don't know if we need to review this now or not.
How dated is this?
That was, I think, the 2020 edition. I don't think it's been updated though. They've done very minimal updates to the actual manual that New Hampshire Municipal puts out.
Oh, what manual was this?
That's the,
Chapter 10.
that's the basic laws of budgeting.
Oh, right out of that
The
one.
blue, it was a blue one.
Yeah, blue or green.
Yeah.
I can check mine to see what
I've got,
edition it
I've
is.
got one
Did you get,
from the basic
did
laws.
you go this year? No, you're not on the budget committee anymore. Right, you're not part
Oh,
of, you're not,
we know.
right, I know, but you're not, oh, yeah, that's true, the school board can go, so,
I think we actually got a, I think we got a PDF version of it when I hosted
last
the
year.
training to the budget committee in the CIP. So I'll see if I have that. I can circulate the whole document to you.
I'm sure I have it.
I think it's online.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it is.
I mean, I guess for most of us, I mean, we should review it, but I don't think there's anything in here that's gonna be surprising, so I guess I would say, do you have any questions or anything about the process or the purpose or anything like that?
Nothing off the top, I mean, I do find it, I was curious why it comes to us after the board of selectmen already approved it. Is it us just to file and make note of that, or?
It's just the requests.
Yeah.
So the departments give it to the select board with their prioritization. And then it goes to the select board, and then the select board is supposed to apply their prioritization, and then it comes to us.
Okay.
So it's really just,
It's a tool, basically,
Right.
Yeah.
to help look at leveling,
Okay.
you know. That's
Forecasting major
right,
purchases.
forecasting and leveling, you know, so that,
I mean, this committee could go back to the board and say, we recommend that you push this out because we're going to level out.
Right.
So,
So it's more just another set of eyes on it.
I never knew that it went to the select board for prioritization.
The school board too, two different districts, but yet we look at it and prioritize.
they haven't done a great job of it.
Yeah,
With all
it's
due
been,
respect.
no, with completely not taken, no disrespect taken. It seems like with the transition when Chris Sterndale had left, and then John Scruton was there, and then I was kind of picking up the pieces, the committee started later and later. So now we're trying to get back to the point where the committee's meeting and putting forward the recommendations before the budget committee or the select board even get to the budgeting process. So we're already kind of behind them.
Yeah, these are the project listings.
Yes,
Okay.
individual.
right.
That's what-
So in the past, what has
Not the
happened,
CIP itself.
right, so I should say, what has happened over the past 2 years is these CIP requests are coming in as the department heads presenting their budget requests
Yes,
for the upcoming year.
Right.
So at that point, like, you guys are already
Late.
behind.
Right.
So what I did was I shifted it all forward and I said, look, I want the CIP request in July. We're actually gonna start working on preliminary budgeting in the end of August. And then the select board's going to start their review, probably about 3 or 4 weeks earlier than normal.
so it will come to us as recommended by the select board.
Hopefully
The
sooner.
the priority.
Yeah, and that's the problem, is like, it could come to the department heads and everything is a 5.
Yep.
You know, whereas
Tomorrow,
the board, we want the board to say, out of these 6 requests from the rec department, we see priority being, 1, 2, 3, or something like that. So everything can't be a 5.
You know, we have, like, I'm just looking, for example, at the police cruiser form, because it's the first one in Farms Lane. And it says purchase a new cruiser for 2026. Okay. Great, we know that that's a normal thing. But if we're gonna go out 10 years, right, so we should have the 26, 27, 28, 29, whatever it is, all the way to 35. And I would be perfectly happy with that all on one thing, one form, to just say, purchase a new cruiser each year, and these are the costs each year. I don't know if we want to potentially update that, or do we want to have expectations of getting a new 10 forms every year from Fawn for a new cruiser?
The price is gonna be different.
Right, that's what yeah, but I said listing the part, listing it out, like 2026, okay, 50,000, 2027, 51,000, or, kind of.
60, but the inflation's going out.
Yeah, but I mean, we just bought two that were, how much were they? 40?
43.
43. So, why were they 280? That's a whole different question. $280 different.
One is an Explorer, one's an F-150. So
Okay,
it's still
Oh.
state bid pricing, but
so,
yeah, we replaced the Explorer with an Explorer, and then the new truck coming in that we're not trading, but
so they're basically the same price?
Yeah.
Okay,
it's
different
the
models.
department's
That's-
choice.
yeah, $280 different between the two. Okay,
But in the 40s.
Correct.
So, to your question about doing, one form versus 10, my only concern is that, like, do we get lost in that form because the dates and stuff like that? It's
right,
like, this is capital project submission form for calendar year 2026.
right, but, so we should also have
Oh,
some
because
little
we-
point, because we want to have, right,
I get it.
every year out there. We need to not just have next year's capital improvements. We need 10 years worth of them.
I see no problem with just changing the top of the thing to be 2026 to 2036.
Right, 35 or what, yeah.
Whatever, yeah, 35. And the submission beyond that.
Yeah, so the.
So
One.
They are doing that.
Do they
Sure.
update that
Right,
sheet
right, but this
every
is the form that
year?
this,
Do they update that sheet
so
every
this
year?
form.
Do you go and-
More than that.
Costs and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
To me, that makes some sense. I mean, realistically, any of the out year costs, that's just a swag.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
okay,
it's,
yeah.
yeah,
But having her put a form in every year kind of requires her to think about it a little bit too. That
well,
But
Right.
if you do one blanket form for 10 years, it's,
well, no, because then she'd still have to do the next year. Next year, she would do it for 27 through 35 or whatever, or
This
36.
form is.
I get it. So
Yeah.
she's still submitting a form every year.
Right.
It's just showing the new 10-year period.
Right.
then we come to the practical part of making this big enough to read.
Yeah, and it's gonna get
I
hard.
think once we clean up and remove some of the capital reserve and expendable trust fund additions, and just focus on the asset itself, that will eliminate some of the lines.
Right,
And if we just, maybe we could track that on a separate spreadsheet that we can have on a second page or something.
Or you could do this and what the other side, and let them.
well, we can't put that in that book,
Oh, that's true. Whatever.
unless we have a full out.
Whatever,
We gotta have a centerfold.
another job for you.
Whoa.
You're dating yourself.
Centerfold doesn't mean it's a, you know.
But I think that makes sense. We're thinking of the fire department, some of that kind of stuff. I think they have multiple year things too that may not be every year, but SCBA kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Some of that.
Okay,
They
so
could- They
we,
could pick the calendar year kind of thing or something.
so we just agreed that we're gonna consolidate the recurring purchases to a single sheet, which will be updated every year with the appropriate date range.
You're good.
Flattery
Good.
will get you nowhere.
Like you may have done this.
It's my first time doing something for the town.
Yeah.
Tasers, select tasers, so it's not some places. this is all 26 stuff. So does she not have anything for the future years, you know, or nothing?
Well, and like the taser purchase, her contract, it's usually like a three-year thing. The body worn cameras is 5 years. Do you need to get in next door?
Yeah, is that where the trustees meeting?
I think,
Nice.
Were they supposed to meet here?
I think they meet in the town clerk's office.
I'm gonna have to jump into that one too, just a couple minutes, because I've got some school stuff.
Alright.
And that too.
Multi-hats.
Busy, busy.
Yeah, it's like, there's only so many bodies we can put.
So were you just suggesting, Ellen, that if we have contracts for things, then we will be able to predict when?
We should be able to.
So if we have tasers that are a 3-year contract,
Mhm.
then in 3 years, there's gonna have to be
A
a
replacement
or
or
replacement. Okay.
or maybe like a
So if
battery
they
or something.
tie their CIP request to their contracts.
Mhm.
Right, so,
We're looking at that too. We've asked for all of the outstanding contracts that you have to look for, because it is easy to get out of order on that.
So the phaser would be 2027 and then 5 years from now?
A lot cheaper to shop.
probably can't record
You
that.
know, the tasers is 3 years.
Oh, it says 5 years.
It doesn't say 5.
It's not 5 year, right, it does say 5 year, but
Taser, the 2027 contract is,
7 tasers
That's wild.
with
well,
10.
they need one for each officer.
Oh, so 7, so it's replacing 7 of them with 10 of them.
No, I think 7's the model number.
Oh, okay.
That's how I read it
Then
anyways.
maybe that's the model.
Yeah,
And how many?
But-
Oh, yeah, we don't. So how
It
many
just
are there?
says old.
7?
No, that's the model
No,
number.
it is a 5-year contract, you're correct. Yeah, that's the model.
5-year contract, so,
Okay.
so that, right, so this should be on there twice then. In theory, we would expect this to be on 2026 and 31.
And that's another thing. January 27 is what she says here. Contract's up. So does
So
that
that
mean
should
that it's
be-
actually 27 or gotta do it in 26?
Probably should be 27, right?
And it ends.
Well, I did.
Yeah,
hang
it
on.
should, right,
Should be,
it
yeah.
should be in 20.
So,
Could be.
right, and it could be very easily, because she has the tachathon.
Okay.
No
Quantity.
quantity.
What we would have to do is we'd have to build the, if she's going to use, nope, she's using the operating budget, so that would be a March approval. In 27.
In 27.
Right, so why is our contract, so we've got to try and move that contract.
Either
check
that or
the
you just
dates on it.
assume that the tasers are gonna be okay for the 3 months until you get funding approval. We should-
Well, and then the contract moves by default.
Oh, yeah. In other words, does the contract move without money?
No, probably not. You probably have to purchase and
I would
I would assume.
think that sounds like a 26 request. kind of.
Right.
It's not like something that's service driven. You can just say, you know, without anybody saying anything, it's just gonna roll.
Okay, that's funky. But either way, there's a 5-year aspect of that, so we would expect to have seen it twice if this was a 10-year submit.
Right, right.
So it's $100,000 every decade for tasers.
Right now.
How many are there?
That we don't know
Well,
by
there's
this.
nine officers, so,
So 10 maybe?
and then 10 with a part-time position, so I would say 10.
Quantity would be an important thing to
Right.
see on this.
Whatever includes training for them and stuff, too, for the tasers, because it's a
That-
contract.
Yeah, hopefully it does. It probably includes, yeah, that would make sense that it would have training.
And
Because the
reloads and battery.
The tasers themselves can't be $50,000.
And when she says this is probably includes it may include, because it's a contract kind of thing, training the batteries, the chargers.
Right,
that
right,
kind
what
of
is,
stuff
right,
you would
what
think,
is,
right?
yeah,
5,000 off roughly.
So, I mean, those kind of details should be included in the request form.
right, just so we have it for backup.
And that wouldn't show up anywhere else, right?
No.
So needs it for budget, needs it for you guys.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so the computers, for the cruisers,
What happens to the old pages?
it's a contract, they probably get returned.
I think they're rentals, we're renting them, so if you're gonna break it down, it's only like $1,000 a year per taser. You break it up over 5 years.
Is it really a rental? I mean, we don't know.
I think it's like a lease type of situation, and then we just trade
Yeah,
them.
yeah, so that would probably make sense, that it's, yeah.
Although it
Well, it
says,
And if you look at really,
Yeah.
you break it way down,
When
it's
you break it
$1,000
down
a year.
to, yeah, to the year.
it says purchase.
Updated, yeah, it does say purchase, which could be a capital lease that you're paying out over
Could be,
time.
yeah.
Right, right, yeah.
So
It does say
let's leave it.
purchase. Is this a lease?
So you know what, do you think we should add to the form something that says like, expected life, expected useful life, because we're saying that's one of the, criteria. But like she's putting, mobile data terminals here, what does she expect the useful life of those to be? Because then if we have that, then we can plot out.
That would be actually a good thing to put on the form, is expected useful life.
The previous ones were purchased in 2019, it's saying.
That's what happens to the vehicles, they have an expected life.
Exactly,
And
so,
I would think that, I would almost think we would just get a new unit every time we get a new car. But these seem to last a little bit longer than the cars. Yeah.
How many cruises do we have? Five,
I
so
think
it's
five.
about one each.
Five or six.
Is that our total
Five,
count now?
five cruisers. I'm pretty sure it's five.
So we've got 9 officers and 5 cruisers, and just kind of scheduling.
Well, they work 4/10, so it's a matter of how the shifts
Scheduling.
line up.
Right, so expected useful life would be a good thing to add to this form.
We'll receive half refund from the grant. Not me, right?
Yeah, but yes, from you.
Not much you want to contribute, nice hefty donation.
Grant, from Grant.
Grant Severs,
Grant
goes to
Severs.
pick up, that's why it's on caps, I'm yelling at you.
It was like, yeah, she did. But
We just
So-
from Grant.
It's on her cover sheet that's attached to her CIP request.
Oh, I see, thank you. Summary.
And then it should also be listed on the bottom when it talks about the estimated costs and revenue sources.
$10,000 grant. Yeah. 10,000 from Grant.
The rest would be
Source.
raised either through taxation or it would come from their technology fund.
So where do we see that on this page for the MDTs?
Sorry, the rest of the cost?
The technology,
It's not on here.
okay,
So what they're doing right now is they're requesting $10,000 be appropriated to be added to that expendable trust fund every year at town meeting.
right,
And then she's used, so the current, the body worn camera grant is being funded out of that, so we have the annual payment for
So-
that, so it comes out of that. So
Right. So the rest of us should have a, this is the.
So the balance would be 18,136.35. That's the missing piece.
Right.
And that's what she's saying, plus or minus, well, saying estimated impact on the operating budget.
Okay, which is why I was
Oh, I see.
confused, because the page before says 50,000 on the operating budget, but it says plus or minus 0.
Yeah, so I mean, the right side, I'm looking at the MDT, request form, right? On the right side of it below, where it says estimated cost of revenue sources, she's got 10K for grant donation, and then she should also have the 10K on the operating budget.
The 18, whatever.
I'm sorry, yeah, the
Yeah, the
18.
18. Yeah. Yeah, it should be debits equals credits.
Yeah.
Type
Right.
situation,
Exactly.
Where's the 18?
right here. Well, 28,136
Oh, yeah.
minus the grant of
Okay.
10,000. So that's what we're saying now.
That's the total
18,000.
cost, and we're getting a grant for 10 grand.
So there should be 18,136.35, the balance reflected down
In
the end of the operating budget.
Okay, all right.
Then the
So
next one's
really-
confusing too.
So really, on the form, you can get rid of the part where it says, estimated impact on operating budget. You don't need that little box if we're using that right kind of successfully.
That would be, right now would be incorrect because 10,000 of it doesn't impact the budget.
Right. Oh, maybe we should take a verbal attendance, just for the recording.
Go ahead.
All right. John Decker,
Adam Ryan,
Skip Severn,
Ellen White,
Donna Davis,
Gene Reed,
and Susan Levinson
Susan
stepped out for a second.
momentarily.
of course, you take it when somebody steps out.
Well,
Good idea.
but that's what made me think of it.
Brains go.
Thank you.
so the expected life issue could be as another slash after rationale in that narrative rationale box.
Yeah, there's plenty of room there.
Yeah.
You don't have to redo these things.
Simple tweaks.
Simple.
Simple.
They are gonna go
We're
back.
gonna retitle
Sure.
I hate wasting all this paper.
So you were talking about the MDTs being bought for each new cruiser.
Right, well, if the cruiser life expectancy is 5 years, the MDT life expectancy is about 5 years.
But I think it's to keep the technology at the same level,
Yeah.
because it's to tie into the dispatch system.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so, yeah, so,
so it would make sense to have have them all on the same operating system if you would.
but what we don't know from this is how often she wants to do this.
which is why we need to use the life.
Right.
Okay,
So these are 2019, so, yeah.
so even if we,
it's a good run for computer.
It is, I
It is,
know.
Well, that's-
especially one that's used 8 hours, 24 hours a day.
Right. And they're, well, I don't know if we're still using the Panasonics anymore, but those things they start behind in
Yeah.
technology.
yeah, right,
Because, yeah, they're, just because they're tough books,
Yeah.
they're behind to begin with.
and they don't really ever catch up.
No, they don't have to catch up.
So,
I mean, even the Air Force is going away from that.
so we wouldn't expect this purchase to be every year.
No, it'd be once every 10 or so.
We'll
Five,
find out.
5 to 6.
5 years.
Useful life designate. So I found the one about the new building or facility to be interesting.
We haven't gotten that far. Oh, for the police department?
Yeah,
Is that-
Did you put a year on it?
2026,
26?
3 years.
Well, part of it's because it's been on the plan, it just keeps getting kicked down the road.
Right.
For funding reasons.
You can't.
Body
Just the last
camera.
page. Yeah.
Drone. We already have a drone?
We do.
$17,000 for a drone?
It's not the one you go down to
Ukraine makes
Toys R Us and get it.
Ukraine makes them for $500 a piece.
Yeah, I saw that.
With explosives.
With all- Yeah, they're only one trip. They're one-way drones.
Is that a speeder on 152?
What other capabilities, what do we use the drone for? I mean, I assume finding lost people
Search
or
and rescue.
there's the capabilities out that do bring up almost 20 grand.
So we can certainly have department heads come in and talk about this. Like I said, I wanted to give you first look at it nice and early, so you
Good
know
idea.
it's coming down the pipe.
On the body cameras?
We're going backwards.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What?
Skip
ahead.
I'm with her.
On the body cameras, purchase new body cameras as 5-year contract with current vendor will be up in 2029. So is that a request for 2029?
It says 2026.
Right.
Plus 5 years would be.
So the way she's supposed to be doing this is putting the year at the top of the request form for what year she wants it.
I think that's where
Yeah.
the confusion is coming from. Is it the year that we're, you know,
We're
that we're
doing
focused
it.
on or the year
Right.
that we're planning for?
Especially when we jump all up to 10 years now, it's gonna make everyone go cross that for a little bit until we're all on the same page.
Right.
This does, the more, for going back to that, this doesn't make sense. This 5-year contract with current vendor will be up in 2029. Does that mean we're good until 2029?
Yes, That's how I read it.
assume so, yeah.
that's how I read it.
So this should be like the 2029 request.
So, yeah, so we gotta figure out, we gotta align around what date are we looking for at the top of the form.
So enter the 2029, since we're looking out 6 years, that's.
And if it's a 5-year contract, we would say 2029 and 2034.
Correct. If the same contractual agreements are available.
And I would say, just looking at Parks and Rec's requests, that's the way they did it. They have one for 26, one for 27, 28, and then 29, 30.
So they did it differently on the forms.
Right.
So that's just an education for department heads.
Same with the priority. There were 6 pages here, and they've numbered the priority, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 pages.
Right, and we said we're good with,
The
did we say
description
high,
said
medium, and low or something? Or-
We
Yeah.
did say high, medium, low.
three grades,
Right,
yeah, in the description.
So you're saying somebody should have been equal in priority?
Yeah, there aren't 6 choices. Yeah, unless we change that. We're gonna stick with 3 choices
yeah,
for grading.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
just,
It's easier.
Oh, yeah, going 6 is
right,
kind of
your
fine
your
hairs.
high priority things, your medium priority things, yeah, I'd really like to have this, but
So the form needs to be adjusted.
They'll pick one.
That's an action item.
As well as pushing the scope out another 40 years.
right, like
That's it.
like the drone, hopefully that's a low priority. I'm hopeful, if we still have one that works.
Unless it's got.
So that'll be determined by the selectmen.
Well,
Their
Right,
recommendation.
right, but it should come in from the department head first,
Yes,
so maybe we have, right,
And
then
then
we
sold to
could,
the select.
then sold to the selectmen,
and then what?
then,
What if we don't agree with the selectmen?
we arm wrestle.
You can do it.
I don't say, yeah.
I delegate.
Yeah, it's just, I'm looking too far ahead perhaps. Some of the stuff is opinions and
Right, of course it is. And
all the stuff.
And even those items that are prioritized when it comes to the setting of the budget, we talk about the reality of having a 4% tax cap and.
right,
Yeah, it
right,
looks like,
that's really what it really comes down to.
Yes.
it seems like she prioritized it pretty good, though. It goes down to the years, how many years she has left. She'd have to put a couple on the same form then if she cut it down to 3 options.
No, they don't have to be on the same form, like, would just be different, a separate
Oh,
form, but,
like priority 1A.
well, if you don't A it, you just say, this is a high priority item, there's another high priority item. Like,
Oh,
the tasers and the body cameras are probably high priority items,
Right.
you know,
No matter how many years, how many
Right.
timeframes they come up with.
Right. Right.
It's really a high priority.
right, it's like, we need this to do our job. All right, anything else on PD for now?
You don't want to go to the last page?
They're gonna come in and,
Yeah, I took a look at it. I looked at it. Like,
briefly, Ellen, what is the story with the fire department, like that police department? Why is it insufficient?
Why is it insufficient?
Yeah, I know she's gonna come before, us, but
A lot of it is parking, safety, security. I mean, we run a recreation program with 100 kids here during the summer, and they've got police cruisers responding to a call, coming out of here, light sirens, speeding. It's also a place where people have to come in to do municipal services, like register their car and get, with the parking lot. Space is concerned, for growth of the department, but mainly just, a lot of towns have transitioned more towards like a public safety complex where you would house like your fire department and your police department, so you have those emergency services
I've
going
seen-
out where you're not in an area where you're congregating in the community.
So this doesn't, touch on the issue of land.
Well,
Well, I mean, like,
I
the
think
first,
the focus will be that, yeah.
the first part is to do a feasibility study to figure out if it makes sense to explore maybe an existing piece of land that we already have a town facility on, or pursue a brand new vacant parcel. That process has to start. We tried to start that 2 years ago by raising, 40,000, I think, to start that exploratory study, but there wasn't really a good plan mapped out, so it itself didn't work very well.
So, but we
See,
talked,
most of the stuff that you said is stuff that really can't be fixed here. It just can't be. But those items were also discussed when they were putting the police station here. And the solution was we can work around that. And
Yeah.
They have, but,
They worked around it for, it met its expected useful life
and
here.
that's also true.
1964.
Well, it was identified in the last master
2000.
plan.
Yeah, master
Yeah.
plan,
Okay.
2000, and it was expected, his life expectancy was 20 years. At that
So two questions. One is, you're restarting the facilities committee.
Correct.
So will they be looking at that, and making
I think that would be
recommendations?
the best committee to start the conversation.
So that's, the second thing is, we talked about this last year, is that like, she's got 3.5 million for year 2026, which is not that good. So that should be broken out as well.
when.
And we
when-
had started to do that on the CIP plan last year. We broke out the feasibility study from the
Exactly.
engineering costs from the
Right,
actual
exactly.
construction.
So, like, if you look back here, I think we did have it,
Because that's the kind of thing
In
that will
here.
freak people out.
station replacement, right? So we had 250 in 26, and then 230 starting at 28 going out.
Right.
So that would be the question, is if you guys think that's still realistic.
I think it will,
I mean, not looking for an answer right now.
We would either
Yeah.
have to acquire a bond, or we'd have to get a lot of good grant writing support through like community development block grant,
Yeah, I mean,
or some other way to fund it. I mean, that's a significant.
we're halfway through 25 already. So maybe if stuff started moving, it might be realistic to start thinking about architectural fees in 26. with construction starting in 28, which is why 27 was like nothing.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of what we were looking at, is like planning stuff in 26 and then starting. But and we're already, halfway through this year.
It was two major capital projects between that and the school that were both going to require a bond.
Yeah.
And trying to balance that within the tax base.
And I'm assuming on the police list, this construction for $2,900 is probably actually the equipment and furnishings. And at least 350,000 comes out.
Yeah, because that math doesn't add up.
I think it might be a zero missing there.
They come up to 3,540,000. The way it's presented, it doesn't add up.
Oh,
I think there's like,
Couple zeros.
I think there's
Yeah,
3
couple
zeros
zeros.
missing in the construction line.
yeah, okay, I got you.
That is a really big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So apparently they want a tent.
A year.
Yeah.
No, it could be expensive to build.
That's true.
How much land does the fire department have? I'm just curious around their building.
you're kind of looking at it, but
Oh, really? It's just a little.
Yeah, it's not very big.
I was thinking something like Class down in Hampshire there, where they just put a giant addition on, combine the two.
yeah, there's room there for an addition. I don't know if it's what they would want, right?
Yeah, that's,
That was the original intention, right?
right. That
Well-
was,
They asked a lot of people about that, and I seem to remember that, but a lot of people say, oh, no.
Well, I found
you
the,
did
found
find
the
it.
conceptual,
Right, there was a conceptual,
Yeah.
there is a
yeah,
conceptual, but
with the bay and a mezzanine to the right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it would be
Okay, all right.
there is a
connected
conceptual.
but separate.
There's a conceptual, but it's
I
not,
thought it
it's
was-
not very big.
Have you ever seen Class House Fire, please? They squeezed a massive building on square lot.
Yeah, they're not
So
the
there was
only
a
one.
conceptual, but it wasn't realistic because it really wasn't providing enough space for what police would need.
Yeah, probably not.
It wasn't allowing long expansion of the department down the road.
But it still could be looked at.
Right, it's a place to start. So, how we doing?
6 minutes, 5 minutes.
All right, let's cruise. All right, anything else on PD for now, other than they got a little homework to do?
Is that gonna be conveyed to them now? Or
I'm sorry?
is that gonna be conveyed, what we came up with tonight? Is it gonna be
Yes, absolutely.
pushed off on the
That
front?
is updated.
All right. Parks and Rec. All right, a new van or an additional van, sorry.
Oh, Rick?
So we're looking for a new van.
An additional use.
Used, huh?
50,000.
Just because in reality,
say
the
something
type
for
of
new one.
van that they're looking for is closer to the $100,000 mark, so they figure if they could get a used one, a couple
Is it more
years
like a
old,
school
it's
bus or
going to,
something?
yeah.
So they're looking for one of the buses or
Kind
one
of,
of the.
something that would require the special CDL license, but
Would not require a special.
would not require, exactly.
So I assume something
But
like
something
what
that
they
might be
have
more
now.
ADA compliant, that could, assist with.
Something like what the rental car companies or the rest homes
Yes.
use now to take people shopping.
Correct.
And so
You
it's,
got, sorry,
no, go ahead.
you got steps and you got an ADA
And
thing if you have to lift somebody up.
So
And
it
that does
could be
not require, I
multi-generational.
don't think it requires a CDL, was it 26,000 pounds? CDL?
Nowadays, I'm not sure how they change it a lot. They require them on F-350 sometimes.
Yeah,
I don't know what
depends
you're all
on
on.
Right.
depends on what you're doing.
So is the purpose here to expand the programming, like taking people to museums or something like that, and there's an interest in that?
Well, looks like you want to travel over to Marston with it too. And the other one holds what, 15?
I think it's like-
Which if you got a couple of teams or whatever, and coaches, probably won't fit. So she's looking around for used?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have seen those on, we have car
Yeah, we
coolers.
looked at a couple of them on like Auto Trader that seemed to fit the bill. It was just a matter of timing.
And that was in that range of 50.
I think the last one that we found was in Pennsylvania and it was around like 43,000.
But they're trying to use.
If it's got lifts and stuff for handicap, it's gotta be that.
Right,
Look on the categories too, there's all kinds of sites and look at.
Okay, basketball, pickleball, 27, 28.
What?
The higher newest G.
No, it's of interest, but I don't make the decision to. The pickleball on 3 courts.
Gene is a mean pickleball player.
Oh, that's, what did they do out there? It's all paved over nicely.
Right over here?
Yeah, was that septic?
No, nope, there's just,
Walkway. It's the new walkway.
yeah, the new walkway and then the old basketball court, so they're going to at least get a half court back in there, and they're gonna put pickleball lines as well, so there'll be an outdoor court experience for nice weather.
Good.
So it'll be, kind of more like a multi-function, just smaller court.
So I think, Courtney, you need to explain to her about, like on the basketball, pickleball court, there's like a total, but there's nothing, so she's just gonna need to use that to summarize her stuff.
Expected life's probably out there, so that's a good thing, just to say like 20 years or whatever.
I'm sorry, what?
For the pickleball court, probably life expectancy is like,
Oh, no, I'm just talking about like,
Filling up.
yeah,
she
filling
said,
that stuff,
that's
right,
amazing.
right, yeah.
Oh.
But they have some of those other things in there, it's gonna be easy. We need to run.
Yeah, feel free to send any comments through the thing, and I'll make sure I watch and get my instructions there.
All right, thank you.
So my recommendation to you for considering when you get to the tail end of your agenda,
Going back to vacation. Going up to
as far as like your future meetings, Mondays will work. I can even set you up in that space with the exception of the first and third. And that way you won't be time restricted. So the first and third Mondays are when select board meets, which is when we're time crunched.
question for you is, when are you expecting to get more of these in?
I should have probably by the end of this week at the latest. I'm waiting on the last couple of quotes for my accounting software. That's the only one I have big administrative level, and then, the highway department for their next equipment purchase. But I'll have to expand it out a little bit further to include the 10 years, so.
Okay, so, I'm sorry, you just said your recommendation was meeting on Mondays opposite the select.
Well, I mean, you were typically meeting on Mondays and Thursdays, but if you do choose the Mondays, just stay away from the first and third. That way we're not time crunched.
That's opposite select board.
Yes, on the select board, or Thursdays, of course, work prior to budget committee getting in season. They're not meeting until October. So you have a little bit of a window there for Thursdays as well.
Okay,
Cool.
so I think if, she said in like 2 weeks, she'll start to have more forms.
Yeah.
So, which means 3 weeks.
You've done this before.
So do you want to set a next date tentatively that we can just then confirm with John and Susan?
We can, I guess, if you want. You want to go through more of this, or you have one?
One more page.
Okay. So it was the improvements from last week, this last one.
A grant from the state of New Hampshire Land, Water, and Conservation Fund. With the budgeting going on in Concord, what do you think?
Well, it's back open again, so I'm not real sure what that means, but.
Well, it's always worth exploring. Without our initial impact on taxpayers. And the private, so on the previous page, there is a 503C.
Friends.
That's you, you're on that, aren't you?
Yes, I am on there.
Are you?
Yes, yeah.
I was vice president, but I'm not.
Well, shape up.
Huh?
Well, so this is a good example of, she said no impact. She she said this is not a priority right now, so that should be something that she identifies as a low, in a high, medium, low scale.
Yeah, again, this is one of three, two of three, and three of three.
Yeah.
Oh, and because I think the year's out, so at this point in time,
Yeah.
that's what it is, but
Yeah.
I don't think the, this land, water, and conservation fund grant is, if it gets awarded, it's gonna be somewhat limiting in the way in which it's done. And, that may not be totally clear at this point in time as to what portions of it need to be taken care of.
To comply with the intent of the grant.
Of the grant, yeah. So, the impression I got from at least the state person is that you don't, you only get this once. And, the mechanics of this situation is one that at the end of the grant, you survey everything. And that's what that grant reflects. If you want to get a second grant, you can do that, but it can't be on the same property. It has to be on a different parcel. So, at least from the way we've heard it, is, and kind of the way this is going to be, you know, the pavilion and shade structure type scenario would be phase 3, if you will, and this other one is phase 2. So, not real sure how that's going to work itself out. Not that it changes anything here necessarily. We don't even know if we're going to get the grant. So. Just the way in which the intent is, they're hoping to get the grant to offset the costs.
Yeah.
But the grants aren't really the big deal, if you will, as part of this. But there is a conceptual plan for the future development of Marshall.
How did you become versed in that? Through the planning board?
No, through friends.
Oh, I see.
But we're trying to support their efforts, what they're doing, and in order to do that, we kind of have to know what they're planning.
What the rules are.
So is it actually a new conceptual plan developed?
Well, to rephrase it, what's presently there is basically the phase 1 aspect.
Yeah.
The conceptual plan had more on it. And so, the phase 2, if you will, shows more of the things that were on the conceptual plan. When we started looking for these grant monies, kind of had to be very particular as to how the information gets provided. For instance, the tennis association will grant you money to build tennis courts. But as part of that process, they can only be used for tennis courts, and they have to be open to everybody. Which means the resident sticker means nothing if you're playing tennis.
Oh, okay,
All right, so you,
interesting.
Not a club per se either.
it's interesting.
They're doing it to promote tennis, not support a town.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
That's what it sounds like.
And in a lot of cases, the grants are set up for private entities. This is not a private entity. So you gotta be careful which ones you apply for and that kind of stuff.
What, so I obviously know the whole.
You do?
History and background.
Yeah.
I was just curious because her narrative says, this year, the BOS approved a new conceptual plan for future development.
Yes.
So it wasn't per se that there was a new plan developed, it was like going back and looking at
Well,
the second phases of the original plan.
It's things like, the one thing they know right now is that, there's nowhere near enough parking for the ball games that go on.
Yeah.
They're all parked out in the road and everything else, so that needs to be fixed. And that's part of that phase two.
Yeah.
Expanded parking. I don't think it's gonna be paved, but anyway, expanded parking. And then one of the other things that existed was kids, not playing, ball are, everywhere.
Yeah.
Is the way to put it. So, the intent is to have a playground there so that they'll be focused more on the playground
Yeah.
area.
Yeah.
So, it's that kind of stuff.
Have they looked at, so like, Skip, okay, so parking seems like it's a big priority. And so can they still support 3 basketball, pickleball courts in parking in this current space?
I don't think anybody knows the answer to that yet. I think the baseball games are not going all the time. So, that might provide the opportunity for parking to be utilized for those other things. Realistically, I drove through there one time when there was some ball games going on, and I was surprised at how much parking was out on the street.
Yeah.
And I don't know why that was. I didn't drive in to see how many parking spots were available. But, I believe the intent is to come up with a lot, like 2 times the parking that's there now.
Yep.
Is it enough?
But I just like visualizing this space.
Yeah.
And where I think I remembered where the basketball court was potentially.
Over to the right, as you go in, still
Yeah,
kind
exactly.
of over there.
Yeah, isn't that where the parking would have to be though?
Again, I don't know truly how to answer that, except that I would think there would still be, you want to save some space for this pavilion type of area that you could go to.
That I can envision.
Yeah, and that was, if you remember, was gonna be, next door to the, ball fields section.
Yeah.
And then the parking lot was gonna go.
This isn't a conservation.
In there, I think, Bill,
And that was where, I think that kind of a plan is still
Yeah, I mean, that's
there.
kind of like just,
I don't think we had a good feel. I don't think we had as good a feel for the reality of parking as what's there now.
okay. And so I guess that's what I would like to see from Courtney as we're going through this. Like you're requesting basketball, pickleball, but if parking's really important, how would you expect you're going to do both? That's what I would love to see from you.
Yeah, there's a plan.
Yeah.
And they're putting it on, they've got some surveyors and stuff that are.
It's unfortunate how limited we are too, though.
Yeah.
But I want to see all these things done, but with the parking, it's horrible. I have kids, I go there.
Yeah, so that, I mean, if parking's
Yeah.
if parking is going to better enable what currently we do,
Right,
Right.
then that's a priority.
we're trying to squeeze too many things in one small spot, unfortunately.
Well, there's a lot of space there, but you're right. I mean,
Yeah, it's-
you have to figure out how best to utilize the space that's there. And so they're attempting to do that. But again, I don't know. There are no lines presently,
Yeah.
for instance, parking spaces, it's just pavement, so. Park like pigs, I don't know.
oh, I thought there were lines over there.
I don't think
Yeah,
so.
this line is the Martin area.
Oh, here.
Yeah.
No,
No,
I mean at Marston.
Marston.
Oh,
I think that, one time I was over there, I thought,
Okay, could be. Been a while.
anyhow,
Anyway,
it's probably still insufficient, so.
yeah, however you look at it, the parking situation is not necessarily a good thing.
It could be,
Maybe people wanna leave quickly too, I don't know. The game gets over, there's a lot of people trying to come out of there. Which maybe you need a cop to be there too, but I don't know the answer to all that stuff.
with a body cam and a taser,
And
no
drone.
left turns. And what's the other thing called? A monitor, and a drone
Drone.
Drone, yeah.
reporting to headquarters.
Well, it would
Do you have
be
anything, Sue?
interesting.
On the Marston piece, no.
Does it actually have to be a cop or just a parking person?
Ellen? That's John's.
All right, I'm gonna close you just a little bit so I'm not hearing.
Susan's still out.
So is there anything else we need to talk about tonight? We've kind of been through those. We've talked about the form fixes that we need.
And Ellen got all that information. She's kind of key to, on the follow through.
Yeah, I actually captured action items,
Oh, you did good, too.
Yeah. because I think it things.
And they slipped through it, right, yeah.
What do you have for action? What, I would be saying that stuff.
Can you send it out to us?
Yeah, I'll send it
I
all
will just
out.
wait for it.
It's mostly about the clarity of the form
Okay.
and the consistency that we're looking for in the form.
Quickly, I think we can do the library one that's here too.
Oh,
Isn't that what they just did?
No, they didn't do it for
we
us.
didn't do it.
Just landscaping or something?
They did landscaping and a ramp on the upper part of the
Oh, is that what it was?
not the one that we went over and looked at.
Right.
The one
Yeah.
that we saw,
Right.
not the one that
No,
we.
no,
Did that other one go in?
no, it's on the form, I think.
That's what it looks like.
No, I don't know, there's a lot of things on this. It's mostly parking lot.
No
I hadn't
mention.
heard about a property line issue when we were there.
It was briefly mentioned, but with the parking lot, it is because part of the land that people park in is owned by the town and the other one's the library, so I see what they're talking about. So they want to call one a municipal lot. Just a technicality, to still be used for the library.
the extra dirt one, they want to call
Yeah.
municipal? Okay.
That's what it says there.
So it's really not one.
Because that's where the
parking lot.
police station was.
Yeah.
You would have loved that. It makes Demons look like a palace.
Four-car garage. Yeah, what I found interesting was this, no mention in here of ADA, which,
It was, well, you know, you were there, that was
yeah,
quite
the
a
whole
topic.
reason.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and the ramp they just built, according to the article I read, was definitely ADA compliant.
But it was more that need to be able to evacuate people from the lower level.
That was our purpose of going over, yes.
Exactly, yeah.
The one that they've done upstairs, we had nothing to do with.
They at least had a way to get out one way.
They, I guess they got a grant plus, how they
A
paid,
donation,
donation and a grant, or just a donation?
donation and a grant.
Yeah, so that's why it didn't come through CIP.
Well, don't know how to answer that.
You do know how to answer, but you're smart enough not to.
What is, she's broken the cost out though by 58.7 for construction and 20K for equipment and furnishing. Is that lighting?
She does talk about lighting.
And handrails,
Okay, it is
probably.
lighting.
So it's like labor and materials pretty much is what.
Wait a minute.
Well, it wouldn't be handrails because it's just parking lot, so it's gonna be the lighting.
Yeah, I don't see that ramp mentioned again here, do I?
I don't see it. I just see parking lot.
Yeah. Yes.
Two.
When I saw the town, they probably 2 years ago, the town trucks over there doing some paving or something in that parking lot.
I thought the way that we had left it was Steve was gonna take a look at, for that other, area.
Lower it.
I thought Steve was supposed to
Egress.
take a look at that, and see how much of that he could do.
The library is useful downstairs.
Right.
And there's no practical, there's egress, but if you're handicapped, you're screwed, you gotta stay there. You can't get up.
Going down with the
But
ship.
there's enough space around the building where they could do something.
Safely stand by, yeah, but they can't get out of there.
Correct.
Unless-
Yeah, no, that's where, space around the building is where they should be building.
So I'm surprised not to see this on
Well,
here.
it is. It's on the third line in the narrative and rationale.
Okay.
Pave with binder and top coat prep and install a walkway from the lower lot to the building. I'm assuming the lower lot is that municipal lot to the
So I think
building,
that's,
which is what we were.
but I don't think that's that ADA piece, I would,
Well,
I think it is.
I think it is, because I think the other side has too much slope to meet ADA requirements.
That was
This would be
part
I
much
just,
longer.
I thought it was just about getting from that parking lot even to the front of the building. That was the way
That's the way it was originally described, isn't it?
yeah.
Who was the guy from the highway department was gonna,
Steve,
Steve?
yeah, Steve was supposed to.
Where were you reading that, Skip?
The third line,
On what
I'm
page?
sorry, third from the bottom,
On
on
the,
priority 1 of 2.
she only had one sheet.
Yeah, only one. If the line starts off with lower lot, grade for improved drainage, pave and binder and top coat, prep and install a walkway
Oh, you got it.
from the
Thank
lower
you.
lot to the building.
I think that's, yeah.
I
Now,
don't,
that doesn't
Is
say,
the lower lot accessible by car, is it only, the lower lot, the parking area?
I think the lower lot is the one they're considering to be the municipal one with the police station one.
I
and
think
there's
so.
no real path from that lot to the building.
Either
Right.
top or bottom, so it may be just the top.
I think it's just the top, that's the way I'm reading it.
Hi, Susan.
That's how I'm reading it, that it's just to the top and she's not addressing the ADA walkway at all.
Okay,
Oh,
so,
really?
That's the way I
We
read it.
need clarification.
Because you need some connection. Once you get out that door, my understanding was if you needed to get out and go left, you can't go
You
anywhere,
gotta
so.
go in the
there's-
woods and the walking path,
Yeah.
stand by.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think somebody mentioned, how about going up to that? Whatever, we'll find out.
there are two paths that could be taken.
And take care of that slope problem by extending the distance.
Yeah.
You familiar with ADA, ADA work?
Minimal, usually I'll sub it off after, so,
I'm sorry.
that's a minimal,
Yeah, yeah.
personal experience.
Oh my God.
I'll sub it out,
It's a lot to it.
it's ever changing.
Yes.
It's
It's
ever
not
changing.
only slope, I went through it with mine.
With the
Oh, yeah, handrails,
handrail.
and you can only go, you can't make a straight ramp.
No, it has to serve.
It has to be interrupted, so if you have a runaway wheelchair, you won't attain 60 miles an hour.
But yeah, I thought we left that meeting with Steve feeling optimistic that he could do a lot of the work that needed to
I
be
thought
done.
we did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and even the done, the type of gravel that you get in
Exactly.
and.
And maybe it's still going, I don't know.
Yeah.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Well, you wanna set a
Did you get
meeting?
school info or?
Adam, we'll get to keep these.
Leave it right there, or-
Yeah,
On.
because,
Right,
she'll be using,
Excellent.
and they will track you down and yell at you if you take it.
You want another date?
Yeah.
A month from now?
A month from now?
Well, she probably won't get back new stuff until 3 weeks.
That's fine.
So. You wanna do like August 11th? Wait, what is the board meetings?
Is that a Monday or?
That's a Monday.
Thursday?
She was talking Mondays
First and third,
opposite
so
the
11th.
selectmen meeting, which is every first and third.
The 11th would be a good one. That's only 3 weeks out. That,
Puts a little pressure on her to get some
Yeah.
answers.
Let's try.
You said August 11th? same time.
Shoot for it.
I agree, let's put pressure on them to.
Well, and she'll pass that on. I mean, it's not like it's all on her.
Correct. All right. It's that. Green. Motion.
Second, somebody
I seconded.
voting.
All in favor?
To adjourn, yeah. Sorry, unanimous.
Just all catching up.
Look at the phones.
Excellent.
That's the thing, I'm trying to figure out how to use the darn calculator. I'm not asking you to count this.
Oh, did she want us to shut this recording off? See if she said something about that.
Probably, but
I'm not familiar with that. Oh, I could just hand signal it.
it's always the power.
Give us a laptop.
Right on the laptop.
Skip, why don't you put this over there so no one walks between that and the computer?
Like me?
Like you.
Yep.
Get that.
Yep, no respect.
You've been on committee before, Ms. Daniels?
Which committee?
Any committee?
MUB town. We just moved in.
That's the way it sounds, she's serving on so many committees.
I was about to say,
A wealth of.
that's my title, the new guy in town.